So I went to work and I had a really nice woodland in my backyard. And then I came home and things were a little bit different. So these were trees that were standing upright when I left. I mean, I'm a little bummed about obviously them falling down, but what really makes me sad is my beautiful white pine, which, I mean, it is pretty beat up. I'm gonna call an arborist and see if maybe he can trim it up and make it look at least a little more attractive and hopefully keep it from being too damaged by insects and all, with all these big gaping splintering branches coming off of it. I guess it's been a very wet, as you know, probably wherever you are, spring, and the trees just couldn't handle standing on their own anymore. And down they went. We didn't have any sudden wind or anything. No reason for this to have happened. My mom said actually she had just come from the grocery store and she had gotten out of the car and she thought someone was shooting off a gun. And then she looked up and the trees just started going like dominoes. Pop, 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 pop. And I'm gonna have, I guess, a nice clearing. But you can see a lot of damage on trees that are still standing, and enough firewood for life. Let's just go for life here in the down trees. Thankfully, not one branch landed in the veggie garden, so that's all fine. As far as I could tell, the goats weren't upset at all, but these guys were really upset, and 3 of them had jumped the fence and run away. I thought I was buying Easter eggs when I got them, but apparently they're Americanas. And they're beautiful birds, but they're as nutty as the day is long. Aren't you guys? See how pretty they are? So I'm doing them on a pasture raised model, and they will be rotating through some of the goat pasture as well, and sometimes even outside the pasture in a chicken tractor as they mature. They're about 6 months old now. But yeah, trees started going down and they decided to leave. So they jumped the fence. Someone caught them for me and put them back. And they seem just their usual antisocial little selves now. So I guess they're okay. But these guys are apparently unfazed. I put it back in the corner, Dahlia. Dahlia wants to know why all the trees aren't already over here in the pen, where they belong, obviously. I did toss a couple branches over, but she hasn't seen them, I guess. And Trouble has come to see what we're doing here. And Dot is just out there chilling, right, Dot? Dottie. She is just in her own little weed-eating world. So in answer to Dottie, the reason all the branches aren't already over in her pen is because goats can't actually eat everything. I'm pretty sure that this one part of a tree that came down is something in the magnolia family. I'm not sure if it is edible for goats or not. but I know that some maples can end up actually being toxic if they start wilting. So I would be very cautious and only put a few of the freshest branches in immediately after they fall. And the white pine should be fine, but there are some trees in the evergreen family that can actually cause a pregnant goat to abort, and we certainly don't want to risk that because I think Dottie is pregnant. She is getting a little udder on her and a little belly, so we are hoping for a fall kid, and we don't want to do anything to risk the baby's health, or of course Dottie's health either. So I am a little sad about all the cleanup I'm going to have to do. It's a lot. But overall, it could have been so much worse. The trees could have fallen the other way. They could have killed my goats. They could have flattened my garden. They fell sideways into more trees. So I'm very thankful about that. I am keeping an eye on things because another branch just came down over a little bit into the woods. So I'm not sure if everything's done falling yet. But this is what happens when you have tons and tons and tons of rain. Trees don't put their roots deep, especially in the kind of ground I have here, which there's a ton of stones. And it's, just a few inches under the soil, and it's hard for them to get deep roots. So I'm just very thankful that no one was hurt, and I have more trees standing, and this may even be a great opportunity. I was thinking about more diversity. I can plant a pawpaw. I can plant a couple of wild apples that I've been growing from seed, things like that, and really add more diversity for the wildlife, and it could be a very exciting thing to happen. And the number of trees that fell really have created an opportunity for more light. I had not gone beyond this point with my garden because it was such dense shade a lot of times. I'll keep an eye on it, but it may turn out that the garden can expand. We'll have more dahlias, more sunflowers, more celosia, and more food. So this could actually be a really awesome opportunity in the long run. I'd never take down a healthy tree, but they're gone, and we may be doing some exciting new expansion projects next year that I never had planned to do. So could be almost a blessing in disguise.